That tiny red creature zipping across the moss in your aquarium? It's more than just a living decoration. It's a messenger. Every twitch, every swim, every color change is a secret message about the world inside that glass box. You think you're just watching shrimp. Think again. You're missing a whole conversation, and learning to understand it is the key to a thriving, bustling colony. So, what are they trying to tell you? Let's decode their language together. For a long time, cherry shrimp have been sold as the aquatic version of a pet rock. Just add water, a few plants, and you're good to go. And while they are hardy and great little cleaners, that view misses out on their greatest gift. They are a living, breathing barometers for our aquarium's health. They're more sensitive than most fish to subtle shifts in the water, giving you a heads up about a potential problem long before a test strip can. A happy shrimp is a busy shrimp. You'll see them constantly exploring and grazing, using their tiny mouth parts to scoop up biofilm and algae. They are, in a word, occupied. This constant, gentle activity is your baseline. It's the sign of a content shrimp in a stable home. They feel safe, they have food, and the water feels great. When that behavior changes, that's your first message. If a shrimp is motionless for a long time, it's not just napping. It's a potential red flag for poor water quality, low oxygen, or illness. They're telling you something is off in their world. So, the first step to becoming a shrimp whisperer is to see them as the active communicators they are. Every action is a piece of data. One of the most common things you'll see is what shrimp keepers call the zoomies. When shrimp start swimming frantically and erratically all over the tank, a newcomer might think they're just happy and playing, but more often than not, it can be a distress signal. This chaotic swimming is a sign of stress, usually from poor water quality. It could be an ammonia or nitrite spike, a sudden change in temperature, or some kind of contaminant. The shrimp are desperately trying to escape an environment that has become toxic. If you see the whole colony doing this, your very first move should be to test your water. But there's one very exciting exception: the mating dance. After a female shrimp molts, she releases pheromones into the water, signaling she's ready to breed. This drives the male shrimp absolutely wild. They'll swim frantically all over the tank. Not out of stress, but a desperate search for her. So, how can you tell the difference? Look closely. In a mating dance, it's almost exclusively the males swimming around, who are looking a bit smaller and usually are less colorful than the females. If you see everyone panicking, including the larger females, it could be a water quality issue. But if it's just the boys going crazy, congratulations, your shrimp are happy and healthy. They're ready to start a family. Cherry shrimp are social little creatures and really shine in small groups. In a healthy tank, you'll see them hanging out together, grazing on the same piece of driftwood or sharing an algae wafer. This is totally normal and comfortable behavior. They feel confident and secure in numbers, but there's a big difference between this casual grouping and constant, deliberate hiding. When you first add shrimp to a tank, it's normal for them to scatter and vanish. They're just a little stressed from the move and need to find a safe space. A good setup with plenty of plants, moss, and decor gives them those safe places. And funnily enough, makes them more likely to come out because they know a hiding spot is always nearby. It makes them feel safe and secure when they know they have somewhere they can always go to. However, if a once active colony suddenly disappears, that's a different message entirely. It signals fear. Maybe if you added a new fish that, while peaceful to you, looks like a scary monster to a tiny shrimp. Or, once again, it could be a cry for help about the water quality. Environmental stress will make them want to hide. So if your shrimp have turned into little ghosts, it's time to investigate. Check on their tank mates, and as always, test that water. They're telling you they feel threatened. There is no clearer message that you are doing everything right than when your shrimp start to breed. This only happens in a stable, healthy, and low stress environment. It's their ultimate stamp of approval on your skills as a shrimp keeper. A well established tank with plenty of biofilm for them to graze on is a huge factor in making them feel this comfortable. It all starts with the female developing a yellowish or greenish saddle on her back, which is actually her undeveloped eggs. When she's ready, she'll molt, and for a short time, she's able to mate. As we mentioned, she releases pheromones that trigger the famous mating dance from the males. Afterward, she transfers the fertilized eggs to her swimmerettes, the little legs under her tail, and now known as buried. You'll see her constantly fanning those eggs. She's not just fidgeting, she's meticulously cleaning them and keeping them oxygenated to ensure they develop properly. After about 3 to 4 weeks, tiny, perfect replicas of the adults will hatch. Seeing buried females and tiny shrimplets is your colony's way of shouting that their world is perfect. Speaking of all this, what messages have your shrimp been sending you? Have you ever seen the wild mating dance or spotted a proud buried mom-to-be? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying learning how to become a better shrimp whisperer, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're decoding the aquarium world's secrets every week, and you won't want to miss what we uncover next. Molting is a normal and necessary part of a shrimp's life. Since they have a hard exoskeleton, they have to shed it to grow. A successful molt is a sign of great health, but a failed molt is one of the most common and preventable causes of death. A healthy shrimp might hide for a day or two before it molts. Afterward, you'll find a perfect see-through copy of the shrimp, the molt, in the tank. It's best to leave this there. Shrimp will often eat the molt to recycle the crucial calcium and minerals within it. For a few days, the newly molted shrimp will be soft and vulnerable, so it will stay hidden until its new armor hardens. But sometimes, things can go wrong. The most dreaded sign is the white ring of death. This is a clear or white band around the shrimp's middle. It indicates the shrimp can't properly break out of its old shell, often because there's an issue with the molt line. The struggle is almost always fatal. This is usually caused by improper water parameters, specifically the mineral content, GH, and carbonate hardness, KH, or a poor diet. Usually, though, it's because there have been changes made too rapidly to the water and the shrimp can't adjust. Water that's too hard or too soft can interfere with the process. If you see this, it's an urgent message that you need to check your water stability and possibly even their diet. So let's talk about how color can be used as a mood ring. A cherry shrimp color is a direct reflection of its health and mood. Think of it as a little mood ring. A happy, confident shrimp will show off its most vibrant, deep red color. This is a sign that it feels secure, has a good diet, and loves its clean, stable water. On the flip side, a loss of color is a major sign of stress. If your brilliant red shrimp suddenly look pale or almost see-through, they're telling you they're uncomfortable. This can be caused by stress from a move, harassment from tank mates, or, you guessed it, poor water quality. Even your substrate color can have an effect. Shrimp have specialized cells called chromatophores that allow them to adapt. On dark sand or gravel, they often deepen their color to blend in, while they might lighten up on white substrate. But if your shrimp suddenly go pale in a stable tank with dark substrate, that's a clear signal. Don't ignore it. Check your water and make sure no one is bullying them. A colorful shrimp is a happy shrimp. While most shrimp signals are subtle, some behaviors are an emergency broadcast that requires your immediate attention. First, if you see your shrimp gathering at the waterline, they are gasping for air. This is a critical sign of low oxygen. You need to increase the surface agitation right away with an air stone or by adjusting your filter output. Second, uncontrolled twitching or spasms are not normal. This is often a sign of poisoning or toxicity, either from something in the air near the tank or something in the water itself. Your first step should be a large, immediate water change. Third, if multiple shrimp are extremely lethargic, especially if it's combined with a loss of color or appetite, you could be facing a bacterial infection or disease. For instance, a shrimp turning an opaque, milky white color could be suffering from the white mussel disease. This is serious, and the affected shrimp should be removed to prevent any potential spread. These are the messages you can't miss. They are your shrimp's last-ditch effort to tell you their world needs help, and you're the one who can save it. Your cherry shrimp are so much more than little red dots in a glass box. They are a colony of tiny biologists, constantly giving you feedback on the world you've created for them. They tell you when the water is pristine, and they tell you when it's not. They tell you when they feel safe and when they feel scared. And they tell you when they're content, when they're ready to bring new life into the tank. Being a great shrimp keeper isn't about having the fanciest gear. It's about being a good listener. Spend time just watching them. Learn the rhythm of their happy, busy lives. Recognize the difference between a stressed out zoomy and a joyful mating chase. And appreciate the amazing sight of a buried female caring for the next generation. These wonderful creatures are in a constant, silent conversation. And now you know the language. So the next time you look at your aquarium, don't just see a pretty scene. See the story they're telling. They're talking. Are you listening? Until the next one, bye.